Welcome back, everyone, to Final Fantasy VII. And now that we have Cloud back, I'm actually gonna make a little quick stop in Nibelheim first, because there's two things in particular that I'm going for.
Okay.
Alright.
I forgot what the hell I was doing there.
Oh.
I was thinking maybe I forgot to save or something.
Oh, okay. I was like, for a second, I thought you were about to say, okay, I'm off to find two things first. I forgot what those two things are. It's like,
no.
I know.
Yeah, I forgot what I was doing, but regardless, first thing you're gonna want to do, if you recall, back in the flashbacks with, in Nibelheim, where we played on, Tifa's piano, Cloud played a random little tune, and it actually gave you the notes and everything. So now, you gotta play that again.
By memory.
By memory.
Oh.
And they don't tell you what that is or anything, so I actually had to look this up in a guide.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, it's like, I mean, I think we were so caught up with, like, what was going on in the flashback itself. It's like, how is anyone supposed to know that? It's like, oh shit, you have to memorize this. Better yet, they barely even gave you any, like, very obvious clues on what notes you have to press on the piano. You know?
Yep. But regardless, when you play the piano, yeah, Tifa notes that there was something hidden within the sheet music. And this is actually a letter from her martial arts instructor, which we did meet in the flashbacks. His name is Zangen.
Right.
He's actually the reason why Tifa is even alive. So it's like, even though Cloud, totally owns Sephiroth in the flashbacks and everything, you have to remember, Tifa, she still got slashed and everything. She was still not doing so hot. So, if Zangen didn't find her, then, one, she could have died, or two, she probably would have been, she could have easily become another Sephiroth clone.
Right.
Because if you remember, all the Sephiroth clones who are now dead, they were all the survivors of Nibelheim. So he's pretty much the reason why she's alive and, not, a frickin' vegetable.
Okay.
And after reading this, we get Final Heaven. This is Tifa's ultimate limit break.
Okay, I recognize the name of that, because, yeah, I remember Tifa using that very move during the death battle between her and Yang from Ruby.
Yep, so as soon as I'm able to learn all the rest of Tifa's limit breaks, we will get that as well. Now, when you go down into the basement, where, if you remember, this is where Sephiroth threw the destruct materia at us.
Yes.
This activates a cutscene.
Oh.
And what you're going to see here is pretty much all Square had to work with in order to create Crisis Core.
Okay. Here's your food. Wait, what food? There's nothing in your hands. Alright, well, here's your tray of air. Oh, ow. What?
Punch.
Wait. Oh, it's Zack. Wait.
Yeah, so after that Nibelheim incident and everything, because remember, Zack got his ass kicked too, and, even Cloud kind of got run through with the sword and everything.
Yeah.
And you do see this in Crisis Core as well.
Mm-hmm.
The both of them were taken to be Sephiroth clones. Zack, however, was pretty much spared from the experimentations because he was already exposed to Mako energy when he, joined Soldier. So him being in that suspension tank literally did nothing to him. So that's why he's able to get out. He still has his sanity and everything. So, this was nothing to him. Cloud, however, this was actually the first time he was ever exposed to Mako. So basically what's happening here is that Cloud's kind of in the vegetative state again, like what we saw when we picked him up in Medial. So he's had Mako poisoning not once, but twice.
Okay.
Yeah, and basically what's happening here is like, yeah, Zack busted them out, and, you know, because Cloud and Zack were good friends, I mean, they were pretty much like, you know, brothers in arms and everything, even though Cloud wasn't in Soldier. And you see this in Crisis Core. You know, Zack kind of takes Cloud under his wing and everything. So pretty much after they escape, you know, Zack's primary concern is he wants to get back to Midgar. And the reason he wants to get back to Midgar is because that's where Aerith is. Because at this time, Zack and Aerith were going out. So he's like, I gotta get back to Midgar to, you know, to find Aerith, let her know that I'm okay and all that other stuff. But I can't leave Cloud behind, so I'm gonna take him with me.
Again, it's probably because I'm still trying to piece everything together or whatnot. This makes it like a really dumb question. So, with Zack and Cloud here busted out of those tanks and whatnot, was this like after the events when they fought with Sephiroth, or is this like beforehand?
No, this is afterwards.
Oh, okay, all right. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much after Cloud had that epic ownage that we saw in the last episode, like, after that was when Shinra moved in and like, alright, we gotta figure out what's going on, we gotta cover all this up, and they're like, and Hojo was like, ooh, test subjects. And that was pretty much what made him go, oh, hey, we can make some Sephiroth clones out of these people.
Oh, hence why they were in those tanks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Which, I guess, it did the process that also cured their wounds.
I believe so. Yes. They took care of them.
I'm trying to.
They're like they were alive, so we got to keep them alive, basically.
Okay. That's what I thought. All right. Okay.
I recognize the scene. I just heard gunshots. I know what's happening here.
So, funny thing. So, whenever you talk to people who play Crisis Core, you want to know a surefire way to know whether they've played Final Fantasy VII or not. It's pretty much right here.
Yep, this is it. This was the final scene in Crisis Core.
What the hell? Oh, Jesus! Oh, God!
This is exactly how Crisis Core ended. Spoilers.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so, like, immediately, it's like, anyone who has ever played Final Fantasy VII and you saw this scene, you know how Crisis Core is going to end. Mm-hmm. But then you've got the people who never played Final Fantasy VII. They're like, what the hell? Why did he die?
Just like Ryan.
The rest of us are like,
yeah,
we know what we're getting. We already know what's coming. and admittedly, even knowing that Zack was not going to make it, my God, Square did a great job with the ending. I mean, it was still gut-wrenching. Yeah. For that final fight.
No.
Honestly, I'm gonna be real for a second.
Yeah.
When I played through Crisis Core the first time and I saw this exact scene, I nearly cried. This was
a lot of people did.
No, but that's just it. This was the first time any video game had nearly made me cry. Like, Final Fantasy Crisis Core made that much of an impact on me.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so before we continue on talking about the awesomeness that is Crisis Core, I'm also going to go back to the Bone Village here. Now, buried pretty much right in this corner here, we're going to be picking up an item that we will be needing very shortly.
But first, a quick power nap.
We could all use power naps.
That's okay.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. Sleep is for the weak.
Okay. I have no idea what the hell happened to my clip there, but basically what we picked up was the key to the Sector 7 gate.
Ah.
So previously we were locked out. But now that we've excavated the key, we can actually go back into the slums.
But why do we want to go back to the slums?
Well, first and
Wait.
foremost, I'm actually going to show this off, because this is an interesting little glitch. And yes, this is a glitch.
Really? Whoa.
Okay, I was about to question that hardcore.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, hey, where's the flower lady and everything? Like, this is technically a glitch. Like, Aerith was not supposed to show up there, but apparently, when you approached her, the actual model vanished and everything. That being said, though, people actually took this as this is Aerith's ghost.
Oh.
Ooh, premium.
There we go.
Oh, that's Tifa's ultimate weapon, isn't it?
Yep, that's Tifa's ultimate weapon. So, before, if you were in the wall market and you tried going in that little hut, if you tried accessing the computer, there was a turret on the ceiling that would shoot at you. Basically, you could not get Tifa's ultimate weapon that early on. So, as early as this too, you can pick it up. So, right now, Tifa, we've got her ultimate limit break, and we've got her ultimate weapon. So, she's ready to go, but I'm going to hold off before I equip the ultimate weapons, because every character's ultimate weapon in this game offers 0 materia growth. So do not equip the ultimate weapons until you've had, you've got, a steady supply of, mastered materia that, as long as you don't have anything that you're willing to grow, that's when you can go on ahead and equip the weapons.
Alright.
Yeah, so to progress on into the story now.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're getting back on track with story.
Cool.
So we're going back to Junon. So again, kind of going back the same way as where we were during Disc 1, when we were all disguising ourselves as Shinra soldiers.
So what's waiting for us back at Junon?
We are making our way towards the underwater reactor, because in the underwater reactor in Junon, this is where we can get the final Huge Materia.
Okay.
There we go.
This song is always catchy.
It is. So in a way, we're going to be doing a little bit of the backtracking, but when we get to it, I'll show you, you'll see, where we previously couldn't get to. We'll be taking that path finally. There we go. It's I don't know why I'm being an idiot there.
It's no, yes, alright, it's okay, Cloud, you already saved, you're fine, press onward.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, as we're just kind of backtracking here, aha!
Oh?
It's very observant, Cloud.
Are we missing something?
It's not so much that we're missing something, so much as something that should be there isn't there. I was were you able to pick it up? I hope to God you were. Now, anyway, so in Disc 1, we previously could not go down here. I don't know what prompted the soldiers to want to go backwards, but okay.
Oh, okay. for a second, I thought they got charged right at Cloud. It's oh, well, we gotta beat these guys if we want to go through this passageway.
Yep, so this is the way to the underwater reactor.
Wait, have we run into these enemies before?
No, these are different enemies, I think.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Because I mean, if these were older enemies, we would be killing them in one shot.
Alright, fair point. Oh, Jesus. very sporadic explosion there.
Well, they are machines.
Right, I get that,
I mean,
but it's like the way that this explosion was animated, it's like you wouldn't think it would be like just a typical explosion and whatnot. It would feel like the explosion was just glitching out.
No problem. Yep. There we go.
Oh.
Don't mind me, I'm just gonna... Oh. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. Let's unload our guns while we have an innocent bystander in an elevator.
Better
That
yet,
sounds
let's
like
have
a great
full...
fucking plan.
Yeah, let's just have a full-on battle in this very small elevator.
I mean, it's one thing if you want to have a battle in an elevator, but now we have an innocent bystander.
Yeah, right.
And,
With an innocent
and
bystander,
she doesn't
yes.
even... Yeah, and it's like, nothing. I mean, not even like a fucking bullet or anything.
Well, at least the battle was over before it even started.
You know, but still.
Battle was over... Wait a minute.
Yeah, and if you talk to her, it's like, great, there went two perfectly good men.
Hey,
like,
hey,
God
hey,
damn
hey,
it,
listen,
lady.
ma'am, I saved your life, okay? Come on.
Alright, so pretty much make your way through the hallways, and you will be getting ambushed each and every time. And, you know, yeah, we're fighting the same enemies, but still, it is an ambush. I'm willing to show them off.
Okay.
For the sake of the story.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Crisis Core, because Crisis Core is fucking amazing.
It is.
Okay.
And I'm not kidding, because it's like, I've played a bunch, I mean, I've seen a bunch of, like, the stuff that they've done, like the sequels and the prequels and the side story stuff, like, you know, I've played most of the games, I've read at least, fan translations of some of the stories, I've seen some of the animes, and it's like, Crisis Core, hands down, is the best thing to come out of it.
Yeah, I think so too. And I find it really dumb that you see all these digital releases of classic PlayStation games, like even PSP games that you can get on the PSN store for PS3 and potentially PS4 as well if you have PlayStation TV. Not one of those digital releases includes Crisis Core. Like, I think the only way that you can play Crisis Core nowadays is if you have a physical copy and a functional PSP remaining.
Right, which makes no fucking sense because I know the PSP wasn't a big seller, but out of all the games that were in the PSP's library, Crisis Core was one of the best ones it had.
Yeah, and it kind of upsets me that the only way I will be able to play Crisis Core again is if I shell out money for a PSP as well as a physical copy of Crisis Core. But at this day and age, I feel like the only reason I would want to do that is if I'd be able to do streams of it and recordings of it as well.
Yeah.
Actually, now that you mention, like, PSPs, like, not being that big of a seller, it makes me wonder, how does it compare with, like, the PS Vita? Or has the PS Vita been a good seller?
I honestly don't know.
I don't know either.
I never owned a Vita, but...
If the Vita can play PSP games, then you might have me sold.
From what I heard, the Vita didn't do all that hot either.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, because I was going to say, like, if the PS Vita has been doing, like, a lot better compared to the PSP, it's like, man, you know what? Plus, if those handhelds are also able to play PSP games as well, it's like, shoot, I'm surprised they haven't done, like, anything in particular with Crisis Core, like, ported over to the PS Vita already.
Yeah, well, that's my biggest concern, is if the PS Vita can play physical copies of PSP games. I'm not talking digitally, because, again, Crisis Core isn't sold digitally, so...
Yeah. I mean, that's like, yeah, you want to play Crisis Core, you need the system, and you need a physical copy.
Yeah,
and I would imagine that now... That's going to be a pretty steep buy, I would say.
I heard that the Elgato can handle recording PSP titles, but I would need to confirm. I would either need to confirm this myself, or if anyone in the audience in the comments happen to know whether or not this is possible, I'd be very grateful if you could let me know.
Okay. Yeah, because I know there is a capture device specifically for PSP. I know one exists.
Yeah, I know as well. But I also heard that the Elgato can handle that as well. But I would need confirmation of this before I decide to start shelling money out for a PSP.
Right.
Again.
That's understandable.
I mean, I had a PSP at one point, but it was like, they got the PS3, all these titles, and then the PS4 was coming out. It was getting an upgrade with the Vita, even though I ended up not really bothering with the Vita. But all these PlayStation products were getting upgrades and more bigger things past the PSP. I didn't think I had a need for a PSP anymore. Boy, was I wrong! Because now I'm starting to get nostalgia trips, and I really want to play Crisis Core again.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's like I said, like, the thing I think that I loved so much about Crisis Core as opposed to some of the other games, you know, like Dirge of Cerberus, is the fact that it was very faithful to the source material. Like, while, yes, it does introduce a lot of new elements, it develops Zack's story, his origin, so of course that's where the new stuff comes in. It's just that when they start bringing the Final Fantasy VII stuff, they were very, very true to it, and I have massive respects for it. I mean, they didn't try to retcon a whole lot or anything, so which to me made me love it even more. I was like, if anything, they just enhanced it. It was like, again, talking about the ending, you know, that flashback at the beginning of this video, that was all Square had to go for when it came to pretty much Zack's story in general. I mean, it's like, from this point on, that's it. We don't see Zack anymore. So that's pretty much all they had to go for. And they made Crisis Core, and like, they took what little they had and made so much more out of it. And that, like, when Square is able to pull that off is when I fucking love them. It's just, that's why it annoys me so much that, you know, with the past couple of years, when I'm seeing what they've been doing, you know, not just with Final Fantasy, but even with how they've been treating some of their other licenses and stuff, it's like, you know, they tend to piss me off a little bit more now, because it's like, I look at Crisis Core and I see you have the potential to still make great games, so why the hell is this not happening? You know, that's just where my frustrations are coming from.
Again, like, I will point out, I mentioned this earlier, so I know no one else is aware of this, because since we talked about this off camera, I feel like they're heavily redeeming themselves with Final Fantasy 15. And I have heard a lot of really good things about 15. So I mean, I'm willing to give it a shot. Now that I have a PlayStation 4, that will be one of my next purchases. You know, right now my concern is Overwatch. Yeah,
I got to get on this with you guys. So it's like that's my priority right now.
Right.
But eventually, one of my next purchases, I do want to look into Final Fantasy 15 because a lot of people are saying a lot of really good things about it.
I think you'll really enjoy it.
Okay. I mean, it's like, I don't know how you could possibly get worse than 13, but then again, a lot of people said that about 12, and look what happened. So it's like, ugh.
I heard they're making a remake for 12, or an HD remake of 12. So.
Yeah, they are. Which made me laugh because I remembered on social media, I heard so many people going like, yes, they're remaking 12! Well, no, not remaking, they're remastering 12, and I'm like, wow, you guys are really quick to forget how much you guys were just completely dogging on the game until 13 came around. I mean, it was just one of those things like, we had no idea. We really had no idea.
I was like, oh man, Final Fantasy 12 was really, really bad. 13 comes out. Oh god, it was even worse. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry, Final Fantasy 12. Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's pretty much what it was. It was like, people became very apologetic about 12.
Hi, I'm Final Fantasy 13.
That's pretty much how I can sum up Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06.
Okay, we don't talk about those.
We will. No, not I want to spoil too much, but we will talk about those, Brandon. We will talk about those.
Not now or not.
Alrighty.
But we will in time, good sir.
Alrighty, so with that said, now it's a race to get that Huge Materia. They are loading it up on a sub. So, yep, we gotta get it before they make off with it.
And they're just standing there.
Well, we'll just wait until they have it completely loaded up in the sub, and then we'll chase after it.
That being said, this battle annoys me.
Uh-oh, are we fighting Reno?
No, we're not fighting Reno. We're actually going to be fighting a robot. But the robot can be very annoying.
Actually, a random thought crossed my mind. We were talking, so you saw we were talking about PSP games earlier or whatnot. It's like, I'm surprised that even now, like, with how much technology on Sony's part has improved, like with the PlayStation, I'm surprised they haven't decided to put in like certain PSP games, like as PSN downloads you could get, like, you know, from the PlayStation Store, which you are able to play with even if you're using a PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think, but yeah, apparently
Wait,
not.
so you can play PSP titles on the PS4?
No. Well, no, I don't believe so, but it's just a thought that crossed my mind. It's like, I would imagine, like, at one point, like, yeah, PlayStation and Sony, they would find a way to make that possible.
Oh, yeah.
Considering how their hardware has improved over the years.
Yeah.
Especially with, like, hell, even with the PlayStation 4 Pro out and all that jazz.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Right, but yeah, just like what Danny said, like, yeah, you would think, but, yeah, no, not exactly. Otherwise, it'd be like, yeah, I'm sure everybody would be all over, like, a PS4 port of the Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Just to hold them off before the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I mean, they made all these PS2 ports for the PlayStation 4, like upscaled graphics and everything for their software and everything, so I guess it's kind of understandable why they wouldn't be able to do something like that for the PlayStation 4 or whatever, but I think it could be well within their power to do so.
Yeah, you know what? Hell, they even been doing, like, all these remasters and ports and whatnot with all these previous Kingdom Hearts games, so why not?
Yeah, Square's kind of been big with their remakes on the PlayStation 4 lately. Like, the recent Final Fantasy games, Kingdom Hearts. I feel like there's another one I'm missing, too.
Nier. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes. Right.
Well, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, they are rebuilding it from scratch, from the ground up.
I know. What I'm saying is Square has apparently had no issues remaking or rebuilding all of their Final Fantasy titles or other Final Fantasy-esque titles from the ground up, or just HD remastering, reporting, and such.
Well, that's the thing. It's like a remaster is very different from building something from the ground up. Because, they're literally building another thing.
Yeah, I know, but to be fair, that hasn't stopped them from bringing over the PC port of Final Fantasy VII over to the PlayStation 4 store for like $17.
Yeah.
God, all this talk about Crisis Core is making me want to look up if I can find a physical copy somewhere for a decent amount of money. Like, the PSP has been out for years, and I looked up some PSP consoles online. Those still sell for pretty steep.
Wait, they sell for how much?
Like, over maybe $150 to $180.
I guess that's alright.
I mean, I guess, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you would think, considering that handheld in particular has been out for, like, oh, man, I would say, like, freaking 10 plus years.
Like, I don't know if they had stopped production on PSPs or whatever, but I figured I would at least find a copy for a little under $100.
Well, I mean, considering that the latest PlayStation handheld that they've had, like, currently has been the PS Vita, I don't know, something tells me that they've stopped production with PSPs a while back.
I mean, if they really did
I haven't
stop
heard
production,
official word about it because I don't keep up with that kind of stuff, so I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, unless they really did stop production, I would understand why the prices are a little bit steep, but still. So there goes that mecha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh god, I hate that boss. And it's just, I just hate the boss just because of the whole fact that he can literally take 2 of your party members out of combat.
Yeah.
And if he kills your 3rd party member while he's holding the other 2 hostage, it's a game over.
Wow.
Oh god.
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
it's
that is bullshit.
I hate it when games do that.
100, yeah, completely understandable.
Yep, so with that said, join us next time and we will be completing the Huge Materia quest and all that other fun stuffs.
Alrighty.